What's going on YouTube? It's your boy, the Rune Keeper, and I just wanted to say welcome to the inn. We're going to be jumping in with another Naraka Bladepoint video for you guys today. But before we jump right into that, I wanted to say a huge shout out to Archer from the dev team over at Naraka Bladepoint for inviting me to the Forerunner program, which is basically Naraka Bladepoint's content creator program. I'm super excited to be counted among the number of Forerunners over in the Discord server, and thank you so much for the opportunity to make content for your awesome game. Guys, today we're going to be taking a look at everything ranged weapon over here in Naraka Bladepoint, so get ready for it, because here we go. Disclaimer. All of these weapons are subject to massive changes. We are currently in the closed beta, and currently right now we are already actively discussing with the devs in Discord massive changes for these weapons. So make sure that if you are watching this video in the past, you go check one of my updated videos for new information. Alright, here we are, guys. We are in the Naraka Bladepoint tutorial, and we're going to be using this to take a look at all of the current ranged weapons in the game, so we can show you what they are currently about. Starting with the number one here, the Longbow. It's a pretty straightforward weapon here. You can get 2 charges on it here to get extra damage out of it, and of course, headshots with this weapon do massive damage. Currently, this sees a little bit of play in the meta. It's really useful for kind of sniping from treetops where you're hidden in cover while 2 other teams are fighting. You can use it to kind of hide your presence a little bit because of the sound on it. But the arrows do leave a trail when they are shot, so you have to be very careful about timing your shots with this. And this is no good in medium to close range combat whatsoever. You're not going to be able to hit those shots. Another thing to keep in mind with the bow is that the arrows do drop off quite significantly. You can't really see it here. The legendary bow has a little bit less drop off, and of course in the tutorial we get all legendary weapons. But currently the bow does have a significant amount of drop on it, so you need to be very careful when you're aiming at a distance to try to get those shots. It's a fairly decent bow. If I had to rate it out of 10, I think I would give it probably a 6 out of 10 as far as ranged weapons are concerned. Up next, guys, we have the cannon. The cannon right now is extremely meta, useful in just about all situations, and is considered kind of OP by the community at the moment. And keep in mind, we're already talking about nerfing this. The big thing with this cannon, you get 10 shots with it before you need to repair it, but you can shoot right by yourself and not take any splash damage. The nerf the community's been talking about with the devs is adding splash damage to explosive weapons, so that you can't just panic fire this thing at your feet when people get within melee range, because it kind of defeats the purpose of being in melee range at that point. This cannon does a ton of damage right now as well, because it is a cannon. This thing will knock out like 2/3 of your shields or HP in one shot, if you get a good shot off with it, and splash damage will still knock out a third. This thing can really pack a punch very, very quickly. Its only real downside is that it's 10 shots, before it's out, and that it has a lot of drop on the weapon. So aiming some of those distant shots can be very hard, because you have to aim very high to send it pretty far. But there's not really currently in the beta a downside to the cannon besides that. I would give this weapon a 10 out of 10, actually, when it comes to ranged weapons. Up next, we have the Musket, and the Musket is pretty straightforward. It's basically the bow, except there's no charge on it, and there's no drop to the Musket whatsoever. You get 8 shots with it before you need to repair it. And yeah, this thing, same thing with the bow. Getting a headshot with this thing is going to do a ton of damage. I've seen it break full legendary shields just about with a single headshot, which says a lot. Alright guys, so up next we have the pistol, and with the pistol here, you can see that there's 2 versions of fire. You can either shoot once, or if you hold the charge here, you'll see these little white dots filling up. That's extra bullets that you're loading into the gun, and you will shoot all of those bullets upon release. Something to keep in mind with these charged weapons here is it does count those bullets towards your repairs in the bottom right, and if you charge this up, you can use the shift key to dodge out of that animation so that you can stop the charge attack. The pistol is fairly decent in my opinion in close quarters combat. If you can nail a fully charged shot, you are going to absolutely shred somebody's HP. It's a fairly good weapon, but it's definitely not as strong as some of the other weapons right now. I would give it a 7 out of 10. Alright, rolling in next, guys. Speaking of charged weapons, we have the Swarm. The Swarm shoots a ton of bullets on shot. So let's see just what one left click does here. You shoot about 5 little arrows there that do explosive damage, but you can charge the Swarm, and at full charge, you're going to shoot 50 of those explosive arrows, and if you can land your shots, you can almost wipe an entire squad with this thing. It's a lot. And then likewise as well, charging the Swarm, just like with the pistol, if you dash, you can cancel the charge. The Swarm kind of sees a little bit of play in the meta right now. It's not really that great. I would likewise give the Swarm a 7 out of 10 currently in the beta. It's great for catching teams off guard. If you can catch a team off guard with this thing, you can do some serious damage. But currently the charge leaves you very, very immobile and very easy to pick off. Coming up after Swarm, we have the Flamethrower, which is currently also equally hated as the cannon. This thing is way too strong in close quarters combat. You can shred somebody's shields and HP with this thing in a matter of seconds in close quarters combat, which really, again, defeats the purpose of being able to get in close with something like a melee weapon. This thing will literally just shred people unless you can stun lock them. It is going to do a ton of damage. It's one of the weapons that we are talking about with the dev team nerfing pretty hard, but currently as it stands, I would give this thing a 9 out of 10 when it comes to the ranged weapons. The last weapon, but not least at ranged, we have what we call the repeating crossbow, or the meme in the community right now is the P90 crossbow. With every left click, this thing shoots 3 arrows, and it's pretty gnarly in medium to close range combat. If you can land some shots with this thing, you can shred people. Like, it shoots. It goes. If somebody comes at you from the side with this and you don't know they're there, by the time you even realize you're being shot with this thing, you're going to have taken so many shots that you are going to be sans shields. This thing is pretty nutty, and I have literally picked up a white version of this, not even a legendary version, just a white regular common version of this, and wiped people with purple shields when I had no shields. This thing can be very nutty if you can land your shots, and is very strong in the meta right now. I would give it an 8 out of 10. And I hope you guys enjoyed this look into the current ranged weapons in Naraka. Guys, just again, remember that all of this is subject to change with the closed beta. So if you're coming in and watching this later, make sure you go check an updated video of mine on this at the time of release. Guys, I will be streaming tonight a very short stream over on twitch.tv/the RuneKeeper TV, starting at 6:50 p.m. So really 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can come catch me. We are doing some special tournaments for Naraka Bladepoint over there on the Twitch, so make sure you guys come check it out. We're doing a solos tournament, we are doing a trios tournament, and then we are doing a fun thing that we have dubbed Fight Club. You guys aren't going to want to miss that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I will be uploading Fight Club specifically over here on the YouTube as well later, so make sure you guys come check out the Fight Club. Guys, I have been the RuneKeeper. I hope you guys stay fresh, and I hope you guys have enjoyed your stay at the inn.